Okay, it's literally, it says it's recording.
I see the red dot. Okay, we're good.
Okay. Woo! Oh my
Amazing.
goodness. Thank you so much, hey, by the way.
Yeah, no problem. It's all good. Yesterday was the warm-up, so this is just honestly going to be the best podcast ever, right?
Right. Okay, I'm just going to change the view one sec here. Side by side, perfect. Okay, I am ready whenever you are.
Awesome.
All right, I'll just do my intro. I'm going to have another sip of coffee. Yes.
Yeah, good call. Actually, my mouth is so dry. I just came out of a meeting and already been talking for so long.
Maybe I should have water instead of coffee because I have to do my intro. Good call.
Also, isn't it 5 p.m. for you?
It's decaf. I'm just going to throw that in.
Don't worry.
No, I'm just a master drinker. I can go to bed at any time also.
So funny.
Okay, I'm going to get going one sec here. Welcome to the Holistic Nutrition Hub podcast. Today we have Ashley, who is the growth lead with That Clean Life. Ashley helps health professionals identify ways to support their clients and grow their business using meal plans, all while saving hours of work. Ashley uses her experience working with one-on-one clients, running group nutrition programs, and building a nutrition practice as a holistic nutritionist, all which help colleagues improve their workflow and optimize client outcomes. Thanks, Ashley, for being here today again.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, Lynn. We had a previous recording session that didn't get recorded, so you guys are getting the extra juicy version because we already have our chemistry all worked out.
All pre-recorded and pre-practiced, and yes. Anyway. So I'm a die-hard fan of That Clean Life from my meal prepper days, and I think most of our listeners will know what That Clean Life is, but do you mind just sharing with those who don't know what it is? Exactly.
Yeah. Yes, for sure. So if you are not familiar with That Clean Life and what we do here, we are a meal planning software for health professionals. So what we have created is basically an all-in-one piece of software that gets you the exact recipes that you need to make meal plans for your clients, create recipe books for your clients, the tools to build those resources out really easily in minutes instead of hours, and then the ability to send them to your client in PDF format with all the branding taken care of for you. So your logo, your business info is automatically applied. So all you have to do is spend a few minutes putting together the resource for your clients, and they get this really beautiful, custom branded, personalized meal plan or recipe book that just makes you look like the amazing practitioner you are.
100%. And there's pre-done for you programs in there too for specific needs or niches as well, right?
Exactly, yeah. So if you're seeing a client and you just need a really quick low histamine meal plan to provide them as an example of what it looks like to eat low histamine, you can just download that. Again, it's going to have your logo on it and give it to them in just a matter of seconds.
Yeah, it's honestly one of the best programs. It's super user-friendly, very intuitive. I loved it. It saved me so much time when I was working in Vancouver. But today I wanted to bring you on not just to talk about That Clean Life, but because we both have some really exciting events coming up, both at H&H and That Clean Life. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about using lead magnets as a strategy for holistic nutritionists. So let's start with the basic question of what is a lead magnet?
Great question. So of course we have to cover that at the top. So lead magnet, we've got two words there. A lead is, as you may know, somebody who could become a paying client. And a magnet is something that attracts things. So a lead magnet is something that will attract potential clients to your business. In the case of health professionals, that usually looks like some type of free piece of information that you provide to your clients or leads in exchange for their contact information. So they'll give you their email address, you'll give them some free recipes or a little mini meal plan they can follow. And then with that transaction, because you have their contact information, you get to work on converting those leads into paying clients through a good follow-up strategy.
Right. And why do you think it's such an important part of a smart business strategy?
So without a solid strategy for how you are going to be bringing new clients in on a consistent basis, you are not going to have new clients on a consistent basis. And I think we can all relate to this as health practitioners that, maybe you have an amazing month, but then the next month your calendar is totally empty. So having a lead magnet, it's always working in the background to be attracting potential new clients into your funnel, let's say. And don't get intimidated by that word. You don't need to write pages and pages of funnel copy if you're not there yet. But your top of the funnel is just potential new clients in. And then you can work on converting them by sending out weekly newsletters, by doing your usual stuff on social media, all the things that you're already doing. Without bringing in the new potential leads, you're just going to burn out your audience and you're not going to be booking new clients on a regular basis. So it's important to have that strategy to bring in new leads.
Right. And the other thing that Sean and I usually coach as well is that if anything ever happened to our social media or like a Facebook or an Instagram accounts, there's the potential to like lose all of our followers there. And so having a strong email list is what I think is one of the top tools that you have to have in order to keep your clients close to you as well, so that you can continuously engage with them.
Yeah, that is such a good point, right? This is personal contact information. Mark Zuckerberg doesn't own it. It can never get taken away from you. And also the data does show that conversion from lead to client through email marketing is the highest. So you get the highest return on your investment when you're investing your time, your energy, potentially your money into email marketing.
Right, exactly. And I think you said it, like Facebook doesn't own the list. It's yours, and you get to follow up with them however you like. And obviously there's a strategy for that too, but that's for a different conversation. For our listeners who have never made a lead magnet before, what should be included on the first one?
So we've found that there are two types of lead magnets that perform best for holistic health professionals in particular. I know a lot of holistic nutritionists and health coaches are tuning in today. So for you guys specifically, you're going to want to look at giving away a free recipe book or some kind of free short-term meal plan. Think 3 to 5 days. Those tend to be the best performing lead magnets for health professionals who offer nutrition as a big pillar of how they are helping people. So you are going to be attracting not only clients who have whatever issue you specialize in. Say your lead magnet is specifically to attract men who have low testosterone. You are not only going to be attracting men with low testosterone with your 5 testosterone boosting breakfast recipe books, you're also going to be attracting men with low testosterone who are interested in using nutritional intervention to get better. And that is 100% your target audience. Those are the best possible people you could be attracting. Those are the most likely to convert.
Yeah, and for other ideas, I'm going to actually put a little carousel up on the Instagram post, having different ideas for nutrition professionals as well. So you guys check the Instagram as well for other ideas. So this is always something that comes up in my coaching calls is I don't want to give my information away for free. Like you've created this lovely recipe book, you've created all of this stuff, and then you're like, I just want to hang on to it for myself. What are your thoughts on that?
I totally get it. Free is difficult, right? So you spent your time and energy creating something, and now we're asking you to give it away for free, but free does not result in any dollars in your pocket. So it feels kind of counterintuitive to say you're going to give something away for free to increase the revenue in your business. But here's how it works. And I actually want anyone listening to take a step back and think of yourself. And think of the last time that you hired maybe a naturopathic doctor, a personal trainer, some kind of health professional to support yourself in your journey. How did you decide that that was the person that you wanted to trust? Did you just, Google naturopaths in my area, pick the first one you saw and book an appointment? Or did you check out their website, check out their social media, look through their blog posts and get a feel for, do they really know their stuff? Are they sharing information that makes me feel confident that when they take on my case, they're actually going to be helpful for me? And I think that most of us can agree that before we invest our hard-earned money into working with someone and trust them with our healthcare management, they are needing to prove themselves to us a little bit. So giving away free information is how you establish those knowing, liking, and trusting factors that are essential before anyone is going to actually hire you and pay you their hard-earned money. So yes, it's an investment. You do have to work for free a little bit, but when you think about the 30 minutes that it's going to take you to put together a lead magnet and the 30 to 40 minutes a week that you're going to spend promoting it, and what that is going to do for your business, you are actually getting an amazing return on that investment. So don't be shy. Nobody has time to go on your Instagram, pull out all of the little tips and tricks that you've shared and put together a comprehensive protocol that's actually going to make them feel better, right? They hire you to make it simple. So share as much as you can for free. That's what we do here at That Clean Life. We teach everything we know. We give away our best stuff for free and encourage health professionals to do the same, because you're not in the business of giving people degrees in nutrition. You're in the business of giving people a personalized approach. And that means weeding through all of the information you have, pulling out only what's relevant to them and putting it into a step-by-step process for them to follow so they get actual results.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I couldn't have said it better. I think yesterday, before our little flop, before I flop, we kind of talked about, for a brick and mortar, it's a little bit different because you get walk-in traffic and you get the people coming into the store and getting to know you that way. And we use car sales a little bit in our example. Is like, before anybody goes to buy a car, they're looking at 5 different websites. They know exactly what they want, roughly how much they're going to pay. And they decide then based on, the information that was available to them, and then they come and see you. And so it's kind of the same principle when it comes to nutrition. Is like, we really do have to make sure that we're visible online with the know, like, and trust, and making sure that we have the right copy. Anyways, I digress. Back to lead magnets, which I think is a very important part of your website too. So what do you feel are some of the biggest mistakes that people make when they create their first lead magnet?
Oh, yes. Okay. I'm very passionate about this topic. We see a lot of mistakes because we see a lot of lead magnets here at That Clean Life. Our members use That Clean Life to create their lead magnets. So they're constantly reaching out saying, hey, what do you think of this? Do you think this would be effective? Can you give me some feedback on my lead magnet? And what we have noticed is that there are 2 big mistakes that health professionals are making when they create their first lead magnet. So the first is failing to properly introduce themselves. And this is so key because you have to remember you're giving away this resource for free, which means there is literally no barrier to entry. Anyone with an email address can access this. So if you are not taking the opportunity to properly introduce yourself to all of these people who are going to take advantage of this free resource, you're missing out on a huge opportunity, the first step to converting them to clients, which is, okay, so yeah, you've got this testosterone boosting breakfast recipe book, but before you get into the recipes, tell your story. Why are you passionate about this? Maybe you're a male practitioner who overcame your own low testosterone, and talk about how you felt before and how you felt after, and what were some of the things that you did to improve that, changing your diet, changing your lifestyle, how you're so passionate now about helping other men see those same results in their business. Maybe share a story of a client. If you don't have a personal story of overcoming whatever issue you specialize in, share a story about how you helped somebody overcome those issues, what they were dealing with before, what strategies you implemented. You don't have to be specific. You don't have to upload their whole protocol, but be vague, but honest. Give some ideas. We changed the nutrition. We incorporated more of this type of foods. We added some strategic supplementation, and this was the outcome. So introducing yourself, who you are, what you specialize in, why, telling your story, make it compelling, really connect with these people, make it so that when they think of their issue, they instantly think of you as the expert. And then the second mistake is failing to provide some type of call to action. So after they download this free resource, even if they get introduced to you, they need to know what is next. If they're loving this information, if they love your story, how do they take the next step to either working with you or getting more information? So including a link at the bottom of that introduction, inviting them to book a discovery call, or inviting them to join your free Facebook group if that's part of what you offer, or inviting them to follow you on social media, or whatever that next step that makes sense for your business is. Just don't lose that opportunity to help them go that next step, because you don't want them to just open your lead magnet, read it, and then forget about you. So the best thing you can do is give them something that they can do to keep you top of mind going forward.
Right. I totally like that. So in terms of the know, like, and trust, we're going to touch on that again. I like to always include in my story kind of the perspective as if I was looking for somebody with my issue, right? If that's what we've niched in, you know, kind of put yourself in the shoes of the person coming to you and write the story kind of based on that, your experience, what you've been capable of reaching. And when we tell our story, I just want to make it clear, and I think you'll agree with me on this, is like, it's not your about story. They don't want to know about your holistic nutrition certification or anything like this. This is like raw, and they want to get to know you and know why you're going to be a good fit for them. Do you have the same?
Oh my gosh. Yes, Lynn, that is such a good point. This is not your resume. This is your personal story. Conversions happen with conversations. And in today's era of, you know, everything being online, it's harder to have those conversations like we used to, because people aren't calling you and saying, hey, I'm interested in your services, here's your opportunity to sell me on it. They're kind of low key looking around online. So you have to have that conversation in a one-sided way while really thinking about, what am I going to say that is going to deeply connect with the people who I'm trying to bring in. And at the end of the day, this is your heart's work, right? We all came into this industry because of love and really wanting to make a difference. Very few health professionals that I know, other than, you know, like physicians and surgeons and nurses, came into it as their first career. A lot of people, it's a second career, and it's because of their own story, or a family member who got sick, or someone that they love, seeing them go through something. Bring all that fire and all that passion into this introduction, this opportunity to show somebody that when it comes to low testosterone, when it comes to hormone balancing, when it comes to IBS, whatever you specialize in, you are the most passionate, the most knowledgeable, and the best person to help them. Really convince them of that. This is your opportunity.
Absolutely. I'm going to throw an extra question in there that I never thought of, but where should your lead magnet go? I kind of briefly touched on that by saying it should be on your website, but where on your website and how often? And is there other places that practitioners should be putting their lead magnet?
That is such a good question. So yes, website is key, but it doesn't only have to be on your website. All you need in order to have a successful lead magnet is your resource, so like PDF format, some type of email marketing software subscription, and then whichever email marketing software you're using will most likely have a landing page feature where you can set up a landing page for somebody to download your lead magnet. So if you don't have a website, or if your website is like Latin to you and you're not the person who manages it, don't freak out. You can put this together yourself, and then you have that link. It can be on your website. You can have pop-ups. You can have it linked in your blog post. You can refer to it all the time. If you have that landing page, you can also share it on social media. We have a That Clean Life member who was really great with promoting her lead magnet, which was a recipe book, by going on Instagram, making the recipes in her stories and saying, if you want this recipe, grab my free recipe book at the link in my bio. And that just linked to her landing page. They pop in their email, it goes on the email list, and they get an autoresponder with the actual recipe book. It doesn't have to be complicated.
Yeah, super easy. And that's, I think you saying like it doesn't have to be complicated is something I'm always saying. Like, you don't have to make this a complex strategy. Like, business is actually pretty simple if you start simple. It's when you get busier that you really have to start putting in more complex things and getting busy. But you make a very valid point. It's 3 easy steps.
Totally.
So you talked a little bit about how members of That Clean Life are using it to create their powerful lead magnets. Can you tell us a little bit more about how they are doing that?
Yeah. Okay. So this is obviously a big one. One of the biggest blocking factors for health professionals in terms of getting their lead magnet out there and taking advantage of this amazing strategy is the creating of the lead magnet. This is where a lot of people get hung up. Maybe they've heard of lead magnets. They know it's something they should be working on, but they just get overwhelmed. And when we get overwhelmed, we freeze and we go nowhere. So that Clean Life really solves this issue. It makes it so easy to put together a lead magnet. Like I said, we have a whole database of recipes. Our recipes are developed by our in-house team of recipe developers who are all health professionals. So you're only going to find like the best whole food ingredients, healthy cooking oils, all the things you're going to want to share with your clients. And then in this huge database of recipes, we have almost 2,000 recipes today. We add new recipes every week. We make it really easy to find exactly what you're looking for. So if your ideal client is a breastfeeding mom who's trying to boost her milk supply and you're putting together a 3-day milk supply boosting meal plan, you might want to look for recipes that are high in ingredients that boost milk supply. So you could search for recipes that contain flax seeds, recipes that contain oats. You can pull out those recipes from the entire database really quickly and easily, and then pop them into either a 3-day meal plan or just a little recipe book. That process takes minutes. It is so quick and easy to put together a lead magnet with that Clean Life. And then once you've created it, you get to download it. And like, this is the part that for me just makes it so like such a no-brainer. You can download it. It's automatically in PDF format. It's automatically beautiful. We have some gorgeous themes that you don't have to mess around with any type of graphic design or anything. It's automatically formatted for you, and it automatically has your logo and business information right there on it. So this process that previously took, let's say hours to weeks, but in reality for a lot of health professionals, honestly, it took them months just because of the figuring it out part of the process, is now something you can do in just minutes. So you could listen to this podcast and think, oh my gosh, okay, you guys, I totally am sold. I need a lead magnet. You could log into that Clean Life and have one ready within the hour. So definitely something that if it's on your to-do list and you're just not sure how to approach it, that's one of the number one problems that we solve for our members.
100%. I think that Clean Life is so good. The recipes are simple for your clients. If you don't find what you're looking for, there's something close enough that you could like edit it or like add something in. You can make your own recipes in there. The platform itself is, I like to use the word genius quite a bit. And it really is. And I like to think that with this tool, anybody can build their meal plans in a few minutes. Like we were talking about this yesterday, and the fact that I would spend, hours, but I actually know how to use these programs like Word and Canva, and I'm really proficient in it. But if somebody doesn't know those things, like it could take them months, and then you're waiting months to start your business on this one little thing that could take minutes.
Totally. And even for health professionals who like already have a business, we hear all the time from these successful health professionals, and we say, how are you doing meal plans? And they say, I'm not, because I don't have time for that. It's too much work. I don't understand how to be a graphic designer. I'm not a recipe developer. I don't have hours to go and look for recipes on Pinterest. There's a lot of reasons why health professionals who went to school for nutrition, nutritionists, RDs, health coaches are not even offering that type of support. And it mostly just comes down to they don't have time to do it, but the clients absolutely need it. So it's important to have a good strategy to be able to provide that support in your business.
100%, for sure. So I'm sure you have lots of favorite stories, but do you have one in particular that you can share with us that created a solid following for them?
Yeah, so I'll go with the example specifically of a lead magnet because I love this story. So we have a member, her name is Katie Pangborn, and she's a holistic nutritionist here in Canada. And she graduated and immediately went to work at someone else's clinic. So she was working there for a few years, getting a lot of clinical experience, working with lots and lots of clients. But it was one of those situations where the clinic owned the client list and was, feeding the appointments to her as the practitioner. So when she got to a point in her career where she had a baby, she didn't want to be pulling the long hours at the clinic anymore. She decided to go off on her own, and she was starting completely from scratch. All of her experience and expertise was there, but the client list was not there. And doesn't matter how good of a practitioner you are, if you don't have any clients, you don't have a business. So she was starting from scratch. She knew me and always knew that I was talking about that clean life. She started coming to our webinars and seeing how it could help her grow her business. So she signed up. And at the time, we were actually running a training. We'll talk about this at the end, but we're running a very similar training. So if this story resonates with you, stick around till the end and you can learn more about how you can get in on this too. So we ran this 3-week training and Katie went through it, where we taught her how to create a lead magnet, not just the idea of a lead magnet, but literally how to create a lead magnet, how to title it so that people actually download it, how to promote it, where to promote it, how often to promote it, all of the good information. So she created a lead magnet in week 1. In week 2, she was promoting the lead magnet, growing her list, and she put together a 5-day free challenge, which was actually based on her lead magnet. So she didn't have to do much extra work. After 2 weeks, she had 76 downloads on her lead magnet, 76 people on her email list. Totally practical, realistic number. I don't think anyone listening to this would say that that's unattainable. Of those 76 people, she then invited them to join her free challenge. 50 of them signed up into her free challenge. She ran her free challenge for 5 days. On day 5, she dropped a pitch. She said, if you loved this 5-day free challenge, I have a 6-week program coming up. Like, let's do this. You've got all this momentum. Let's keep going. Let's get you feeling awesome. And 9 people from her free challenge converted into her paid group program. So she was able to actually triple what she had spent on that Clean Life membership, and she bought a yearly membership. So in 1 month, she made back 12 months worth of investment and then some times 3, right? So that's my favorite story because it really shows how when you just show up for yourself and just follow the strategy, like we've got the strategy, we've got the tools, literally all you have to do is follow the instructions. And if you follow the instructions, you will get the results. You're not the exception. This works for absolutely everybody. And like I said, we continue to share this strategy. We don't charge extra money for it. We are not business coaches. We just really want to make sure that our members are getting the best return on their investment when it comes to that clean life. So we give away everything that we learned about how to have a successful practice using our tools. And we are running a similar training coming up as well.
Awesome. I think you nailed it on the head by saying like these numbers aren't unattainable. So like when we listen to some of the other big names in business coaching, often they're like, come hop into my really expensive program so I can teach you how to, times your email list by 50 and you're going to sell this much in the first month. And as much as I trust their process and believe that it has happened for the majority, like for some of their people, I don't think that's the majority. And I think starting out small to learn the process and then refining it over time is such a valuable tool to see how it works and what you're doing. And so the free challenge that you guys are putting out there is really exciting because you are giving these step-by-step ways to create this lead magnet. And are you guys doing a little bit of promotion as well? Like how to do it?
Yeah, we talk about all of that and make sure that you know exactly what you're doing before we move on to the next step, which requires you to have been promoting your lead magnet and growing your email list. And yeah, we're all about celebrating the actual, just like realistic, everyday person kind of wins. 76 people signed up for an email list in 2 weeks. Like anyone can do that. All you have to do is be willing to do it. People think often that numbers like that are not enough and that you need to have a huge email list in order to generate any sales, but that's not true. In this case, she had 76 leads and she converted 9 of them into clients. And that's a little bit lower than her actual conversion rate because that's just how many people bought her group program. She had other people part of the challenge who said, I want a one-on-one approach. I need to work with you really hands-on, who bought her high-end program. She had people in the free challenge who later on had a family member who needed support, who referred them to Katie. So there are so many ways where this pays off in your business, but even just directly, $2,250 for 3 weeks of work as somebody who was starting from scratch is awesome. And that's totally something to be celebrated.
100%. Because like how often is it that you put in a couple weeks of work and you're just handed this lovely paycheck, right? And it snowballs too, like you said. So it could turn into something so much bigger or create ties that you wouldn't think would continue down the road, but you never know who's going to show up 6 months later or who is like silently following you in the back end and just like waiting for the perfect moment that they're ready. So I think that it's super important to just have a lead magnet, continue to engage your people, and just don't, I think you said show up for yourself. And I think the mindset around that is so important. And I take that every day in my business. Is like, who are you showing up for? Well, I'm showing up for you guys, but I'm also showing up for me. Like, this is my baby, you know, and it should be the same for all the practitioners out there. Anyways, do you want to explain what the free challenge is that Clean Life is launching on September 29th?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so everything that we just talked about, if you're really resonating with this, if you're thinking like, I love Katie's story, I love this idea of a lead magnet and having my business be a well-oiled machine where people are just constantly coming in, we are running a free challenge. It is called the Attract, Nourish, and Convert Challenge. It is specifically for health professionals, and it starts on September 29th. And what it is a 3-week challenge, exactly like I just told you, the strategy that we ran Katie through. And we, in week 1, teach you how to attract new clients. So that's where we are going to teach you how to build a lead magnet, how to market the lead magnet, everything that you need to know about a lead magnet. In that week, actually, we are going to also teach you how to outline a group program. So if you have been wanting to run a group program, the very first thing we're going to do is help you get clarity on what your program is going to look like, what's it going to cover. And then once you know what you're selling, we're going to help you sell it by creating a lead magnet. So those are the 2 things you're going to learn in week 1 to attract potential new clients. In week 2, you're going to learn how to nourish them. So not just nourish them as a nutritionist, but nourish them as a business owner. So how are you going to take those leads and keep feeding them little bits of information, little facts and tips and things that are going to make them really want to hire you. The way that we're going to do that is with a free challenge, because it has a start date and end date. You don't need to run it on Instagram or Facebook or any social media platform. You are completely in control of this. And you are going to nourish them by giving them kind of like a free sample of what it's like to work with you. For 5 days, you're running all the people who sign up through this free challenge. And then in week 3, we do part 3 of the challenge, which is converting them into paying clients. This is the part where you get paid. This is the part where your business grows. So once you've attracted and nourished your potential clients, you're going to present them an irresistible offer. We know that health professionals suck at selling because it makes them uncomfortable. So we are going to get you feeling super comfortable with your pitch. You know exactly what you're selling. You know exactly how valuable it is and how it's going to change their lives. We are going to help you get confident so that at the end of that free challenge, you're going to drop that offer. All the people in your challenge are going to say, heck yes, obviously I want to work with you. Look at what an amazing job you've done with me over the last week. And they're going to sign up and be converted. And we cannot wait to be able to share even more success stories from this challenge. We've run this strategy a couple different times in a couple different ways. And each time we learn more and get even better at it, and it gets even more current for what's working in the industry now. But this is the first time we've run it as an actual challenge and not just as a training. So we're holding you accountable week to week to be completing your homework and doing all the tasks. So again, if you are that kind of person who like needs that extra push and needs a little bit of accountability, or bringing that in too. So if any of this is appealing to you, if any of this has made your heart have that feeling of like, yes, this is for me, I want to claim this, I want some of this success for myself, all you have to do is show up with that attitude and we will do the rest of the work and get you there.
100%. I mean, for it to be free is absolutely insane. Like, this is one of the most crucial parts of business that you could honestly go to a business coach and pay thousands of dollars for. I'm thinking of like Amy Porterfield, you know, she has roughly the same kind of idea. It's obviously probably on a bigger scale, but it's the same concept that, you know, somebody just starting out or somebody who's like got a solid foundation needs to kind of take the next step. So I think for a free training, like, it's an absolute don't miss. You'll learn so much information there that takes months and weeks to learn normally, and to have you guys as the head, I mean, Don't miss
Yes.
it.
And you get personal. So if you are that Clean Life member, which you're probably going to want to be, because if you're creating a lead magnet, building a free challenge, and creating resources for a group program in 3 weeks, you're going to need good quality tools to help you do all of that work effectively. So when you're a member of that Clean Life, you also have the option of submitting your homework to us directly for feedback. So we will look at your lead magnet. We will say, you know what, this introduction is not doing you justice. You need to rewrite this. Like sometimes we have to tough love our members, but that's what gets the results. Sometimes that feedback is what makes the difference between getting results now or troubleshooting for 6 months. And we're happy to help. And we have an amazing team of experts that can offer that. So we are offering that to our members. And I should probably also mention that there is a link in the show notes for you guys who want to sign up. So you can sign up that way. We start on September 29th, and we are running classes every Tuesday for 3 weeks. It's at 1 p.m. Eastern, but if that doesn't work for you, we will be sending you replays. You just have to make sure that you watch those replays. Otherwise, you will 100% get left behind, because there's a lot that we're covering, you know, like you said, and we were just chatting about this morning in a team meeting. The amount that we're giving away for free here is ridiculous. We could easily charge thousands and thousands of dollars for this, but we're a software company. We benefit when our members are successful. So we just want to see you have a successful practice. It's important to us that that happens for you. And we are showing up to give you everything that you need to make that happen for you, if you're going to show up for yourself to make it happen as well.
For sure. Can you just let us know how long the classes are? That was one thing that didn't get mentioned.
Yeah, so they're actually 90 minutes. They are really info packed. So week 1 and 2, we're covering a lot. We've got 90 minutes of stuff going on. You're also going to get a handout in advance so you can take notes, and you're going to get a worksheet to help you work through some of the exercises we're going to ask you to do in terms of planning out your group program, planning out your lead magnet, planning out your free challenge. There's a lot of planning going on. So we're giving you the tools to be able to plan that, so you're not just on your own, specific questions that you need to answer. And then in week 3, we're going to be helping you develop your pitch, and then we're going to be doing a nice long Q&A. So anybody who has questions while they're at that point in the process or taking the next step and launching this, we are able to spend some time giving you what you need to move forward with it.
Amazing. I think if I didn't already know all of this information myself from being a business coach, I would be right in there, 100%. It's too bad, honestly, because I've just started really digging into this topic and this, like, of course I knew to do it, but like really diving deep. And this sounds like everything is just put together in such a nice little package. Like you said, I'm going to share the page for the link to go and view the free challenge in the show notes. And then also, if you're a follower on Instagram, I'm going to have it up in our bio in the link tree as well. It's loud and clear, so you can't miss it. And yeah, anyways, I think that about covers it. Is there anything else that you would like to say to finish up our conversation today?
I don't think so, other than to echo what you just said and say that, yes, this was created to give you guys everything that we wish that we had when we were getting started, all the information that we had to learn the hard way and that took us years to figure out. And our community is amazing. So you're going to love being a part of it. You can also chat with other practitioners around the world who are working on what you're working on. And we just really love the community aspect of running this as a challenge.
For sure. Like I said, I'm a diehard fan of That Clean Life, and I will continue to promote it because it was a lifesaver for me as a meal prepper, as a coach too, when I was practicing. Honestly, it streamlined my business so much and saved me so much time. So you guys check out the challenge, and thanks, Ashley, for being here. I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to staying connected.
Yes, thank you. And everyone who's listening, I look forward to seeing you in the Attract, Nourish, and Convert Challenge on September 29th.
Thanks.